up, YouTube? CJ here with Lost Legion TCG. Today I'm doing a video on my take of a 60 card Gren Maju deck profile. So let's take a look at that here. So to start, we do play the 3 beat sticks, Gren Maju. I think one of the most key part of this deck is the sheer power to punch for a lot of damage with not a ton of resource put into it. Next, we do have the 3 Eater of Millions. A lot of people forget its effect that when it battles, it can banish the monster face down, which is very important. And a lot of people don't see it coming if they don't remember what the card does. Next big part of the deck here is your Gizmek Orochi. Its key fact is when it banishes 8 for cost, that'll boost your Gren Maju by a significant amount due to the 8 times the 400. Gets you a ton of damage you can output pretty quick, even if they do negate the summon. You do have those free banished cards that you can push forward with later. Next, we do have the Dimension Shifters. This card is a big shootout to a lot of the decks now. With Drytron, they don't have access to their grave. It banishes all the monsters sent to grave. It's big against your Virtual War players as well. They can't use their grave resource with their Nyan and or like the Cloud Castle effects. In this deck, I am also playing the Golden Castle package. So I am playing the 3 bird. This guy is pretty good. You can discard him to add your Golden Castle, which is the big starter for this engine. So the next big part of this engine here is the Hextrude. She is a level 8 that you can normal summon without tributing if you have Golden Castle on the field. And she does allow you to target 1 card on the field and destroy it if you have the Golden Castle. The next thing we have here, I am playing the 3 alphas. I consider it more of a pseudo kaiju because you can special summon it for free, bounce a card, and then summon it back again, considering they have monsters with more attack than you have. It's real nice if you can kaiju, you can bounce your kaiju back, kaiju another, and then depending on their monster count and the attack points, you can summon it back and then still battle a monster. It can attack directly after you use its bounce effect, and it is a level 8 you can use off of your trade-in. Next, we do play real kaijus. So we do play the 3 Gamma Seals. He's level 8. He's your turtley boy. And then we do also have the 3 Godarlas. Godarla has a little more attack than your Gamma Seal, which doesn't matter too much. But it is a level 8 you can also send off of your trade-ins. For more level 8s, we do play the 3 Thunderbird, Danger Thunderbirds. If it's discarded, you can target a set card on the field and destroy it. Or a face down card, which comes in handy against your Eldritch and some of your rogue strategies. And you do play its counterpart, your Danger Bigfoot, which is another level 8 that you can send off your trade-in. If it's discarded, you can target a face-up card on the field and destroy it. They're both pretty big, a 28 and a 3k, so they are good on that front, and they're level 8, so you can use for different plays as well. And then to round out the dangers, we do play one of each of the in quote good dangers. You do play your Jackalope, your Tsuchinoko, and your Nessie. The last 3 monsters I do play, I did choose to play Cherries in the main. It's a little bit of a weird call right now, but with this deck not having too much firepower in the extra deck department, it's nice to be able to snipe some of those more pesky things like the Calamities, the Union Carrier, and stuff like that. So that is it for the monsters. The next thing we'll take a look at here is these spells. So I am playing 3 Extrav. I think Extrav's pretty good as a card at the moment. I do enjoy the Prosperity a bit, but I do prefer Extrav due to its ability to banish from the extra deck, which you don't use too much anyway. And it does allow you to get more attack for your Gren Maju. We do play 3 Pot of Desires as well. The big thing with this card is it is helpful if you get the draw 2 off of the card, but with your banishing 10 for cost, typically that can mean more for you in the long run with your Gren Maju attack gain. It can make a big difference, and a lot of people like to shotgun the Ash on this card, which can bite them in the butt pretty regularly. Means that you have your Golden Castle package, you have a lot of your trade-in, and stuff like that. For a little more draw power, we do play the trade-ins. The card's great. You play a lot of level 8s in this deck, which you can discard to draw 2. And a lot of the discards that you do have, you can get more effects off anyway with. The next big card that we do play in this deck, we do play the 3 Golden Castles. So this card is, I would say, it's comparative in terms of the Subterror Field spell. It does have a lot of effects. It has battle coverage. It allows you to, instead of searching, you get to summon from deck with this card. So with Golden Castle, it does have a utility cost where you have to banish 10 face down during your standby phase, which isn't that bad considering that you do have your Gren Maju you can use as backup. It does boost it more, just kind of like your Desires would. It would boost it by about 4k. Another big part of this card is you can use it to summon out your Hextrude, which allows you to target a card on the field and pop it. And then the last thing that this card can do is if your opponent declares an attack, you can actually activate this card and destroy the attacking monster and inflict the damage that to your opponent to half the attack of that monster. And you do play 7 copies of this card. You do play the 3 birds, the 3 Strombergs, and you do play your terraforming as well. The next big card I have in here is I do play 3 Slumbers for the year 6 Kaijus. The card's good because it does help you clear the board, as well as being able to banish it from the graveyard to search for another Kaiju later on in the game. It's very good for grind games. If they keep bringing out bigger boss monsters, you can just get rid of them with your Kaijus. A little bit of a call here, which we're seeing a lot more of Shaddoll players at our locals where we do play, and a little bit with the overwhelming amount of virtual worlds. So I decided to play the 3 Super Polys, because during the standby phase, when they have the double VFD, it's really nice to have, since you have your player priority, you can just wipe the board for them during your draw phase. I apologize. In the draw phase, you can wipe out both VFDs. It does help with the Shaddoll matchups and a little bit with their invoked and the rogue strategies you see on occasion. The last 2 cards I am playing are more power cards. I am playing the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, and I'm playing the 1 Raigeki. I think they're pretty nice to have at this point in time. They're the last 2 cards I needed for the deck, so I thought I'd just throw in 2 more power cards to hit that 60 card mark. And that's it for the spells here. Last thing I'll show you guys is I will show you my extra deck. So it's a little strange, but it does work for what I'm going for. So I do play a couple Xyzs. I do play the Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, the Titanic Galaxy, and the Sanafon. Sanafon, I think, is kind of an Abyss Dweller on crack. It's a little bit bigger. You have to activate it on your turn, and it does linger to the end of your opponent's turn, which is very important. You do have your spell negate with your Harbinger and a battle negation, depending on how you think about it. And we do have our monster negate with Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. For some of our Cherries targets, we decided to play a VFD. Because of Virtual Worlds, we have the Samorglink for the decent amount of like the Lyralisk build with Tri-Brigades. It does help a lot. We are playing the Alga Fibrax as well. A lot of rogue strategies are still using that card to get into extra parts of their combos, and we play the Union Carrier for the Drytron matchup. For our Super Poly targets, we are playing 2 Starving Venoms for the pesky VFDs. We play 2 Muddragon of the Swamps for rogue matchups. It does come in handy a lot with the Super Poly. We do play the Predaplant Fusion here. We play a Adignister Earth Golem. It's a little different because it is a Cyberse and a Link monster, so with a little bit of the Evil Twins coming around, it's nice to be able to get rid of some of them on their turn when they're trying to go for that combo with that. It does help for random rogue matchups like Salad if they come around, especially with Firewall coming back with the Errata. I think this will be a decent card for that point. In the last 2, because of the Shaddoll Rising that we're seeing a little bit of our locals, I am playing the 1 Winda and the 1 Construct. These can double over as Cherries targets and Super Poly targets depending on what you have to go for. I think they're both really good power cards, and Shaddolls are always a good thing to have in the extra deck if you can afford to put them in there. So that is my extra deck here for my 60 card Gren Maju list. I would show you a side deck, but as of right now, it's kind of up in the air with what I'm going to play for the tournament. I don't really want to show that off to you guys yet. If we do well, I'll give you guys another profile on it, let you know how I did. But this is CJ with Fall Season TCG. Have a good one.